So we've checked some masks, viewed them under an electronic microscope, looking for the presence of a certain life form, suspicious objects, possibly foreign forms of life. Yes, with an inventor and microbiologist who've tried to create an elixir of youth, but it also turned out to be a cure against the pandemic. So keep watching, and it turned out to be a little bit too long, but we've tried to objectively show each mask from the moment of its installation under the microscope and up to the point where we found these life forms. We've tried to show the whole process as honest as possible and to go thoroughly and understand everything about this phenomenon. So keep watching until the end. Yeah, thanks. The global wave, a new scientific paradigm. Yeah. He started moving. Yeah, here's the mask with the valve. Oh, he flew away. How? He flew away. No way. Yeah, he jumped. He changed its shape. He was just on the top. Did you film it? Yeah. So, you're saying he can jump? Yeah, he can jump sharply, like several millimeters jump, or maybe a centimeter jump. It's shocking. So it turns out it can jump, like several of its sizes high, as if a person jumped 5 or 3 times of its own height. Yeah, 3 times for sure. So it jumps. Yeah, and it's on a flat surface. It's not like it jumps from top to bottom, but on a flat space. Yeah, it's curling into a ring. So, here's the process. We bought some masks at pharmacies, at 2 different pharmacies, and at chain stores. Here we have our hot boiled water, our electronic microscope. Here it is displaying a picture on the computer screen. Let's get started. Starting to heat up the mask. Can I show you, Alexander? Yes. So, greetings. This is Alexander, a well-known microbiologist in certain circles, right? Well, I'm a researcher. Yeah, as I understand, you've created this remedy against the COVID. Well, the drug, yes. It is sold as a drink now. It's registered as a drink. Okay. We talk about it later. Right now we are investigating. We are studying if we have some kind of insects in the mask. Like in the video you sent to me yesterday. I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised too. My goal was to debunk it, and it turned out to be the opposite. I wanted to prove that it's all fake and it's not true, but it turned out to be different. And now we are checking different masks from different manufacturers to see what happens. I'm also wondering about this. Yeah, okay. So let's heat it up. Let's go. This one first. This one from the Moscow factory. It wasn't sealed. Yeah, it's so thin. So should we install some kind of a holder like an elastic band? Okay, looking potentially where they could be. Okay, let me climb over for a second. Oh wow, is that a distillation apparatus? Yeah, distiller. Here's something, yes? Inside of it. It's not clear. Maybe those are just the edges of the mask. Maybe the Russian masks are not so warmy. Well, we're gonna find out. I'm also wondering. I mean, they weren't sealed like those ones, which created a microclimate for the worms. I mean, our people are always saving money, like in case with T-34, but it actually came out as a optimal, intelligent and quick tank. So, not suspicious yet. Yesterday, when you've checked the Chinese masks, did you immediately notice something? Yeah, they were like black stitching. Oh, look, here's something, yes? Or are those just fibers? Cotton fibers. Well, let's give it a couple of minutes to warm up. I will pause the camera for now. Yeah. I mean, not in all of them, because now we are looking through them, seeing what it could be. No, those are from patients. I mean, it's similar, the same fibers, looking the same, like those phlegm extracts. I mean, they were initially found in patients and then in the masks, those fibers. So we've waited 3 or 5 minutes more, warmed it up, and so far nothing. Well, the locally made masks don't have it, I think. Maybe we need to look more carefully. We'll be taking the second mask now. Also from the Moscow factory. Look, I overheard your conversation. So those fibers are like from the phlegm. Yeah, the patients who had COVID and after using our drug, they had the same fibers in their phlegm. First those fibers were found, and then we found the fibers in the masks. And they turned out to be not fibers at all. They were identical, and very few people know about it. So, did you isolate that worm yesterday and taken it to laboratory? Yeah, I'll be taking it to laboratory this evening. I'll be taking several masks. So, you'll be taking the masks or put them separately into a flask? In the masks, of course, the masks that have them. It is easier because if you take them out, you could damage them. It is safer to leave them in the environment. They are guaranteed to stay there. Okay, then. Okay, the next mask. So far, the Moscow mask. Oh, here, the worm. So, we thought too well of the Moscow mask. I'm taking my words back. I really wanted to praise the local manufacturer. Look, to be honest, I was already upset in a good way that we didn't find anything. But here it is. Something is there. Yeah, definitely. I will be zooming in right now. Okay, I'm losing him. Losing sight of its inhabitant. Oh, here he is. I mean, he's kind of undercover. There's not so many of them. It wasn't easy to find. I mean, the thing is that it could only take one of them to send a person to heaven, because they multiply really fast, and their life cycle is short, and the person's immune system doesn't put up much of a fight with it. Our body doesn't fight back, so it's not ready to face them. They reproduce really easily. One of them could be enough for this stuff to develop, especially if a person is not at a young age and their immunity is weakened, then it could even become the cause of death. Oh, wait. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but it could be. So you understand that this could be some kind of accusation exposure. I'm not blaming anyone. I do research exclusively. I'm not interested in politics or anything. My priority is research, and all of those stuff is temporary. So this is about science. If it helps to save some people, then it's worth it. I'm asking, what is it? What is it for? Well, it's obvious that this is some form of life, and you can watch how it's behaving. This is not mechanical movement. You can see that it is now looking for how to find some kind of carrier. Maybe it's looking where could it go. So it's moving from this warmth. Yes, it's activated because we created these conditions very similar to human breathing. And you wear them for half an hour. Some people are wearing them for 8 or 10 hours. Salesmen, for example, live with these masks on. You breathe in once, and that's all it could take. I didn't wear them once last year. I drove a convertible all spring and all summer. Well, all of this gets into your respiratory system. It will safely enter your lungs. And it will meet very few obstacles and will multiply. But these are very serious things, actually. This isn't a joke. And your system isn't ready to face it. Grab the next one. What was the first one? This first one was from the Moscow factory, and the second one is also from Moscow. From the same factory? Yeah, from the same factory. It will be the same. Well, it's just that I took it at the pharmacy and I noticed that they gave it to me like this, unfolded. They said you can buy 50 of them for 99 rubles, or one piece per 3 rubles. But I was thinking, why do we need 50 pieces of infected masks? I mean, I thought 2 of them is enough for analysis. Okay, you can press the pause button and we could change the water. So, removing these masks and all of the masks that we have tested will be put into this place right here, along with all the small passengers. For disposal. Yeah. Or for lab tests. Well, we already have some tests underway. I'll be meeting a candidate of sciences today, and right now I have another candidate call me, and he has 2 higher educations at once. He is both a biologist and a physicist. And, I mean, this stuff requires really, really high level of education, because an ordinary physician wouldn't even dare to get into it. So this is really high level stuff. And as a researcher, I am dealing with things which have no scientific names yet. things which are not known yet. This is what I'm doing. And if I have some question, I have a lot of friends who are scientists, and I always consult with someone, because naturally I will not make decisions on my own. I will have a discussion, some kind of consultation. It can even be an online consultation or a meeting. So it's a whole process. So if we are taking it to the lab, I will require some kind of a container, some kind of a separate package. Well, why don't we put all the infected masks into one bag? No, we cannot put them into one bag, because it's not a scientific method. They could intersect with each other, and we could get an uncertain result. So each sample should be packed separately. Okay, we changed the water, and we are taking the second mask, a new one. We'll take it like this, the seam side up, and we're beginning to look for the potential parasites. Well, supposedly. Look, we started praising the Moscow factory mask. Yeah, I really wanted to praise. I wanted to believe that, after all, something good could come out of local manufacturers. But I'm suspecting that they could be just declared as Russian products, but could actually be Chinese. Well, it may be true, because it was in a box, and the box said Moscow factory, but inside of it were the plastic bags, just ordinary, unsealed, not air-proofed. We should give it some time to steam up a little. So we're leaving it like that, and we'll get back in a few minutes. So here we are 5 minutes later, watching the Moscow mask. I mean, supposedly the Moscow mask, because there's no certainty. We haven't found anyone yet. Yeah, yesterday you checked the Chinese masks. Were they more obvious? Yeah, I saw them right away, black ones. There was such contrast against the white surface, and I could see them right away. And the Moscow ones are like more disguised. Or maybe there are just fewer of them. Well, a small one woke up first, but if we waited for longer... Oh, there's someone there. No, it's unclear. So, do you think people are wearing the same masks for a long time? Yeah, some people wear them until they tear up, believing that you can just put it on and everything will be fine. People are forced to do so. In the shops, they don't sell anything to you. I mean, people are throwing themselves at you. I mean, it was last year. Products weren't sold to you. Yeah, and some people are still afraid to fly by plane. Did you fly somewhere abroad recently? Yeah, I fly from time to time. When was the last time? Last one? Well, I mean the most recent one. Well, in the 20th I went to Turkey. It was empty in a good way. I mean, the service at the hotel was great. They literally worshipped every client. Well, anyways, I mean, where were you in Europe last time? In the summer, I went to Italy, Rome, the Vatican. That was when the pandemic hit, right? And our troops were there and biologically sprayed the city, cleaned it. Well, I didn't witness it. The room was empty, like an empty Vatican. You could see everything without crowds of
А ты
tourists.
что, ездил туда
That
на
was really
полевые
great.
испытания своего лекарства?
So, did you go there to have an on-site trial of your medicine? Yes, we've showed the medicine, and they really liked it there.
Папу Римского вылечил?
So we got the recognition. Did you cure the Pope?
Ну,
Well, I
кардиналов
haven't
его
seen the Pope, to be honest.
лечил их, раздал
What
им.
about his
Они
cardinals?
забрали у тебя?
Yeah, I saw the cardinals, lots of them. So you healed them, distributed the stuff. Well, I handed out the samples. I was accepted by the government of a small principality. I was appointed the head of the Department of Science and Research under the Ministry of Health. I mean, they handed out all the confirming documents. This was hanging on the wall, right?
Я так
Yeah,
краем
the one on the
глаза
left.
покажу.
I can show it, right? Well, I'm not hiding anything.
Нету, да? На этой
So,
маске?
nothing
Пока
to
не
see
видно.
on that mask, yes? I think there is, but we haven't
Ну
found
ладно,
it
давай
yet.
будем говорить, что нет.
Well,
Ну что ты, мы
let's say
же,
there's nothing.
ребята,
I
оптимисты.
mean, we're trying to be positive. Alright, but let's take another look from all the other sides. I mean, being positive is good. But an optimist is a poorly informed pessimist.
Ладненько.
Alright.
О, а что это тут?
О,
Может, вот это
what's
шевелится,
that?
Саш? А,
What's that moving, Sasha? No, that's just water. It's evaporated. It condenses, and those are just steam drops.
ладно. Ищем
Okay,
дальше, да?
let's
Или
keep
следующую,
looking.
китайскую.
Or we'll take another mask, the Chinese one. No, I think we should look further. Oh, we found it.
Ну, тут крупный такой.
A big one.
Да, вот он шевелится.
Yeah, he's moving.
Да.
Yeah.
А тут его видно?
Can we see him here?
Как скажете,
As you wish.
можно вести, можно
You can
как
bring
на ваше
it
усмотрение.
at your discretion, I mean.
Так вот.
So,
Вон наш червяк.
here is our worm.
Вот эта маска. Я
This
вот
is the
сейчас
mask, and I'll be trying to.
пытаюсь.
Да, ой,
Ой, куда я сдвинул?
Did I move it?
Сдвинул.
наверное.
I moved it somewhere.
Huh?
It probably
Yeah.
stuck to the pen. No, we're gonna find it again.
Сбили фокус.
We defocus the camera. This pen contains this
прилипли?
the ink.
Да не, это
Ну,
No,
что ж,
no.
смотрели. Там
We just looked and there was no one there on the pen.
Да нет никого.
There is no one.
Тут не хотелось бы это,
I wouldn't like to have
писателей.
any writers there.
Ну, сейчас еще найдем.
We're
Я
gonna
почти
find
уверен, что есть.
Some more. I'm sure we're gonna find some, not just one of them.
Ну то видео, которое ты
Well,
вчера
that video you sent to me yesterday,
удивленным. Так что прям
the surprise
не
video.
это home видео было.
Да,
Well,
это
it's
для
a home video,
личного использования.
not for public use.
Ты там не
You
стеснялся в
didn't hold
выражениях.
back.
Там, ну, дело
there.
в том, что, как
Well,
я говорил же, да, что
like
там
I've told you,
присылали вот такое
I
видео.
was sent
Я
a
был уверен,
video
что это
of
фейк.
this kind, and I was sure that
Вот,
it's all
потом,
fake.
там одна
But
девушка
then this
сказала,
girl
что
from
это был
the
фейк, она
scientific
тоже
community
написала.
also sent the
Она с
video to
глобальной
me.
волны.
Да,
She's
да,
from the
да.
global
Она
wave,
спросила,
right?
что
Yeah,
это,
yeah.
как это,
She was asking,
что
like, what was it, magic or tricks?
Так, деликатно. Хорошо.
I mean, delicately. And I wanted to put an end to it.
Показать, что этого ничего
I
нет.
wanted to
Сказать,
prove that
что
it's
это
all
ты там,
fake.
не
You
то
wanted to
смотришь.
ask, like, what the hell are you watching? No, why? I mean, that's what makes us scientists.
Если
We are asking questions. If a person stops to be interested in something new, whatever it might be, if he ceases to be interested, then they are no longer a scientist. They are someone else. A scientist must question everything, look for something new, even if it's already found. This is what it's about. An inquisitive mind trying to figure out, getting to the bottom of the truth. Like, what if there's something else to it? She asked the right questions, and thanks to that, I got the opposite result.
Привет.
Irina, hello.
Ярославу Старухину тоже
Say
большой
hi to
привет.
Yaroslav Starukhin as well.
Не активист,
I'm not a
конечно,
global
глобальной
wave
волны, но
activist, of
дружим
course,
с
but
Ярославом
I'm friends
Петровичем.
with Yaroslav Petrovich. Well, yeah. It's gone somewhere. Let's look from the other side.
они просто когда вот больше пара, они
There's more steam there. So
у них запускается
it's
программа,
like
они думают, что
a program inside of them is started.
С носом.
Someone with a nose is nearby. Yeah,
Уже меня
potential
распарил,
carrier.
вышла
Like,
я из зоны
I'm
береза.
already steamed. I
Давай-ка
woke
я
up after
интегрируюсь.
my
Нанобот,
suspended
такой
animation,
наночип.
so let me integrate like a nanobot, nanochip. Yeah, it wakes up, but not like a chip. I think it's a living organism.
Да, мне сегодня
I
спалось не
gotta
очень
say, I
хорошо.
didn't sleep well today.
Ну ладно, в общем, мы видели в Московской
Okay,
еще
we
одного,
saw
но я могу
another
констатировать,
worm
что
in the
они
Moscow
редко
mask, but
встречаются.
overall they are rarely found. Well, I'm sure if we kept searching, we could find more.
просто это надо, может быть, там где-то под разными.
Давай уже следующий. Вот у нас
Let's take another
есть
one.
из
Here we have
сетевого
one from
магазина.
a chain store.
Ага.
Вот, запечатанное.
It's sealed,
Видно, что это
so you
китайский
see that it's
производитель.
a Chinese manufacturer
Мгм.
Заказу московского.
ordered
но
by a Moscow manufacturer.
Industrial
Industrial
зона D.
Zone D,
Хананг Сити.
Henan City,
Провинции Хэнан, Китай.
Province Henan, China.
В общем, какой-то технопарк
Some kind of
из провинции
technopark from
Хэнан.
Henan province.
У нас видео длинное
This
получится.
video will be a long one.
Да,
We could cut it.
это уже будет вторая
Well,
серия.
that could be a second episode.
Сначала будет full версия.
We're gonna have a full version first.
Переходим к другому, да?
Switching
Последний
to the
заход, да,
next one, right?
соответственно, второй.
This is our
Московский.
last
Ну, мы
take with this Moscow mask.
Одного большого мы видели, да.
We saw one big worm.
Я как нетерпеливый Давай подождем.
Let's wait.
Может быть,
Should we use a lighter or something?
У тебя есть?
Не, ну зажигалка это все
Well,
убьет.
a lighter could kill them right away on the spot.
Какой мы можем
What else can we use as a source of heat?
Сама лампа
Does
греет
this lamp heat it up,
Ну, тут вообще
или
как
только
бы так
светит?
вот
or does it simply light? Well, it's warm as it is. All right,
Так,
waiting
ну что,
now.
вот мы их уже минуты 2-3
So,
греем, а они
we've
не
been heating
шевелятся.
them up for 2 or 3
Очень
minutes, and
похоже
they aren't moving,
на ту
but
форму
they
жизни,
look
которая
very similar to their
шевелилась до
life
этого.
form,
Вот даже тут
which
3
moved previously. There are 3 of them.
в одном ракурсе. Какие мысли?
Any thoughts?
Ну, по-хорошему надо, конечно,
Well,
ждать.
to do it properly, we have to wait.
Мы уже сколько? 2-3 минуты
We've been
греем.
heating it up for 2 or 3 minutes already. Longer.
Что ты рассказывал сейчас мне за
So,
кадром про
what
личинки
were you
комара?
saying about the wrigglers to me?
Дело в том, что пока они
Well,
спят,
the thing is, when they are asleep, they can withstand radiation.
то, что были эксперименты
There have been experiments with mosquito larvae,
комара, там,
with frog spawn
вина и так далее.
taken to space,
Значит,
and they were taken there for about a year. They were flying in open space
летало в открытом космосе,
with no atmosphere.
без атмосферы абсолютно. Там была высокая радиация,
There was radiation,
вот, перепады
temperature
температуры,
fluctuation,
теневая сторона.
because there's the sun and then there's its shady side, extreme conditions. And when it all came back to Earth, these creatures came to life almost with no problem.
Многие
Well, some of them stayed as they were, but most of them remained alive.
если это, так сказать,
When they are sleeping,
может
it is difficult to kill them.
А когда они уже оживают, то там гораздо проще. Там же механизм.
And when they have already came to life, it's much easier.
Не факт, что
Some processes are already running. Therefore, a lighter may be of no help. It could help, of
Ну,
course.
видишь, они хранились, эти
Well, you see,
маски,
they were
не
stored.
герметично.
These masks are not
Всё-таки, я
airproof,
думаю,
and I think
такая форма жизни.
it's a form of life. In a vacuum, there can also be any environment. I mean, they can withstand anything,
Теоретически жизнь, она, так сказать,
in theory.
Ну, давай уже следующий.
Okay,
У нас
let's
еще
grab the next
столько
mask,
масок, а
We
потом
have so
вернемся,
many of
допустим,
them.
к этой.
and then we
Я
could
опять
get
её
back
греть
to
неохота
this
будет.
one.
Ну, можно.
Will you be unwilling to heat it up twice? Well, we could do it, I guess.
Это вода там
Is
плещется
it
уже,
the
да?
water splashing? Yeah.
О,
Oh,
Есть?
is that it?
маленький.
Где?
A small one. Where? Here. Here it is.
Ползает, да?
Crawling, right?
Вот поэтому в основном наука
That's what science is about. It consists of looking for something, but rarely finding anything. So I have stamina, professional stamina. Yeah, you could say that.
Как бы приблизить. Видно, что он там?
Да, и видно,
Yeah, it's visible,
пока не очень
but
видно,
it's
что
not
он
clear
шевелится.
if it's moving.
А,
Он практически на краю маски
It's almost on the edge of the mask.
задел.
Oops, I've touched it.
Где-то там между зубьями был.
It
да?
was somewhere between these marks, right?
Вон, черная
Oh,
полоска.
here, a black stripe.
Пока не шевелится.
It hasn't moved yet.
покажу.
Is
А?
that him?
Да, да.
Yeah.
Значит, точно.
Here.
Вот шевелится.
That's it. It's moving.
Не очень.
Still not clear.
Спасибо. Обойду.
Okay, let me come around.
Вот.
Here it is.
Вот.
Here.
Ну да, вот он расправляется.
Yeah, it's straightening
Он
out.
спал.
Well, he was asleep.
Сейчас он попал в
Now
среду, когда
its program has been
сработала
activated.
программа, что рядом
He's
может быть где-то
near
потенциальный
a
носитель,
potential carrier,
температура
he
плюс
thinks,
влажность,
and the temperature,
дыхание
humidity,
человека,
so it's like a person is breathing.
создали.
We recreated this process in such small conditions.
Вот, и вот он ожил.
So he came to life.
Интересно, а вот эти дорогие
I
маски
wonder
с
about
клапаном,
those
я
expensive
одну
masks
сегодня
with
Я
держу.
уже
the valves.
об этом раз 10 человек
10
спросил.
people have already asked me
Раз
about this
проверили, но еще
today.
какую-то
И один, по-моему,
полуфирменную
и
вот.
один из
We'll
них,
check those
по-моему,
brandy
занимался
ones.
даже продажей этих масок,
One of
потому
those
что он прям
people I've
сильно
talked to
инспирировался.
was
Я говорю,
a guy
слушай,
selling these masks.
проведу исследование. Не надо,
I
не надо,
asked
не
him,
надо.
should I research your masks? And he said, no,
Да,
don't.
да, правильно.
So I won't. All right.
Не, ну, сейчас тяжелые
I
времена.
understand we live in some difficult times.
А потом просто человек-то носит
I mean,
Давай
no
попробуем
one
по
wears
полчаса,
them
никто
for
на самом
just
деле маску
30
не носит.
minutes.
пинцетом его.
Let's get some
Он
tweezers.
совсем это
Tweezers.
самое, представляешь, какой
I
маленький.
mean, you imagine how small it
Ты
is.
там не подлезешь.
And we would have to put it all apart to get
Что ты
him.
хочешь с ним сделать?
What do you want
Я
to do
думаю,
with
может,
him?
как-то его можно
I mean,
зацепить и
we could
выпустить.
hook it up somehow.
Попробовать,
What for?
разглядеть
We
его
could get a
пинцетик,
better look
пинцетик.
when it's
Ты
on
не
the
видишь,
tweezers.
ты посмотри, вот там волокно.
I mean,
Да, вот этот
you
кубик,
won't
и
see
вот,
it. It's all fiber.
Даже волокно, мы же волокно не видим маски.
I mean,
То есть
we
мы
are
видим
not
просто
seeing
маску
any
целиком.
fibers. We
Здесь
see
видно каждый
the
ниточку
entire
отдельно.
mask.
Ну да.
And here you see
Собирается.
each thread separately. You see it's trying to go
Готовится
somewhere.
к переселению. Он думает, что
It's preparing for some resettlement,
Чужой.
thinking like
Да,
the
да.
alien.
Мы там
Yeah.
разовьемся,
It's thinking like
захватим
we'll
планету.
develop and take over the planet. Yeah, the galaxy.
Ладно, в общем,
So the Moscow
московские тоже
masks
есть.
have
Давай
them too.
китайские.
Grab the
Да,
Chinese
вторая
one.
московская. Ну,
Well,
я говорю,
I've
что
told
можно
you,
было её не делать,
we could skip the
потому
second
что
Moscow
есть одна,
mask
значит,
because
есть
if it's
другой.
in one of them,
Потому что
it's
я
in
вот
all the
проверял
others.
кучу масок,
I've checked a bunch of
ну,
masks
лишний раз убедился,
just to make
что
sure.
действительно есть. Они просто здесь мелкие.
So
Да.
they are here, they are just smaller.
Вот и всё.
Да.
Yeah.
Давай, следующую.
Okay, let's grab the next one.
Упаковываем в отдельный пакетик. У нас
We'll be
пакетик.
packing it into a separate bag. Do we have enough bags? I have more bags, it's not a problem.
Так, ну вот,
So here
китайские,
we go.
похоже, маски. Что там написано?
These are Chinese
Chengdu.
masks. What do they say? Chengdu?
Маски одноразовые, 3 штуки.
Disposable masks, 3 pieces, item, size, number.
Ну, ладно, Китай, просто нам
Is it
производитель не нужен.
Chinese? Well, we don't need the manufacturer.
Микроскоп. Микротекст.
Well, it's in microtext.
Ну да, Китай, вон. видно,
Yeah,
что-
it's Chinese.
Жишун.
Zhejiang?
Да,
Something.
Жишун,
yeah.
Китай.
Zhejiang.
Ага.
Ну, в общем,
China.
понятно. Давай,
Let's
покажем, что
show how it's
Готовлено.
sealed.
перевернуть. бы лучше.
Upside down.
2020 октября.
2020, October,
Мгм.
China.
Давай, показываем, что это запаковано.
Вот маски.
Okay, let's show the
упакованы.
packaging.
Открываем.
The marks sealed. Let us open. Yeah,
Так и хочется сказать. Наденьте.
makes you feel like saying, put on your
Я вот
masks.
только что как раз позвонил человеку,
I was just
который,
contacted by a person
а,
who is
и он в маске как
wearing
раз сидит на
these
работе.
masks at work.
Теперь я думаю, что
Well,
многие
now I guess
задумаются.
more people will start thinking about it. Like, let us take one of them, the inner side here. Let us put it like this.
Раз.
Поиск.
Searching.
Ну, чем-то на московскую
Well,
похоже.
they are
Сразу в глаза
somehow
не
similar
бросается.
to the Moscow masks, nothing striking the eye. Well, it's denser. The Moscow ones are one-layered.
Если ты увидел по
You
плотности
could
волокна,
tell it by
полотна,
the
да?
density of the fiber. You can see at once by the way the light is seen through. This one is denser. Those were thin, very cheap, I guess.
Ну,
Well,
50 штук,
50
99 рублей,
pieces
по-моему,
for
так в аптеке
99
продали.
rubles at the pharmacy.
А в розницу по 3 рубля.
3 rubles
Да,
for one
открыли
piece.
коробку.
They had to open the box.
Да.
Yeah.
Я иногда
I
Пякина
sometimes
смотрю,
watch
аналитика
Packing the
такого.
Analyst.
Он
He
про такие
hasn't
штуки
discussed
еще не
these things
рассказывал.
yet.
Надо ему
I
отправить.
should send him the material
Материал
for
на анализ.
analysis. Oh,
Кандидат
another resurrection
воскрешение, да?
candidate, right?
На микроорганизм.
A microorganism. Well, it's small. It's funny how the expensive mask had them on both sides. Very notable, in my opinion. I don't understand this logic. I mean, is this someone's plan, or did it just turn out to be like this? Not sterile production. I mean, they are made from different raw materials, different fabrics, different manufacturers, different suppliers. One can only guess. Maybe these organisms are from the fields. Maybe they are living in cotton. It's synthetic, not cotton. If you light it up, it will burn. Let us try to set it on fire later. I mean, one of them. We could. We should. We'll check if it's synthetics or cotton. I'm telling you, it's synthetics. Cotton is more expensive. No one would make a disposable cotton mask. It's just a reflection. Okay, let us pause. Okay, here we have 2 or 3 potential ones. Suspicious ones. Suspicious objects. We've been looking for 5 minutes and we thought maybe we were lucky previously. Yeah, like maybe this mask turned out to be good. Not moving yet. Let's give it some time. Get some tea. We could.
шевелится?
Is it moving?
А,
Yeah.
вон верхний, верхний.
The top one.
Верхний, вон.
The top one.
Верхний уже.
Yeah, it's tail on the right.
Вот, верхний.
The top one. Yeah, I can see.
Короче. Я не знаю, носить такие
Well,
маски.
wearing these masks, in my opinion, is like drinking from spit tunes near the STD clinic, where the patients with venereal diseases spit. It's like drinking from those spit tunes. That's my opinion. Excuse me, I mean. Well, it's a bold statement. I mean, an emotional one, but it's silly to knowingly expose yourself to the risk of getting sick. I wonder what your scientist biologist will tell us. Well, they will simply say what it is scientifically, what kind of species it is. It's clear that those are alive organisms.
Они на камеру
Will
это
they
скажут?
confirm it in front of a camera? Good question. Not everyone will take the risk, but they will tell me, and that's enough, at least. It depends on them. Not everyone will take the risk. I don't care about it, but many who study do. They're in academic science, and it's not as easy for them. You say something one time, and it will follow you for a long time. It could simply put an end to your career with this kind of statement. There are academicians who do this business. Maybe one of those academics is selling these masks. So it's up to them. Someone will take the risk and someone will say no.
Пока не очень активно,
So far
скажем
they are
так,
not very
шевелятся. Вот
active.
верхний шевелится.
The top one is.
Точно.
They are just far away. Let me zoom in.
Да нет, видно, видно.
Well, I can see them.
Вот верхний видно, что шевелится.
The top one is moving, I can tell.
Как клещи
Like
сжимает.
it's squeezing its claws. The bottom ones are also
Попробуй
moving.
подуть на него, а?
Could you blow on them?
Попробуй на него подуть.
Try to wave with your hands.
Ну,
Well, you
попробуй.
could blow it off.
Или ты не хочешь
You
заразу
don't want to
распространять?
spread the infection in your
В
living
жилом
quarters.
помещении.
Well, I could wave with my hand.
А, вот, ожили,
Oh,
кстати.
here, they came to life. Yeah, you see, we've recreated this moment,
Вот
like
они,
at
смотри.
an atmosphere.
А если чуть-чуть подуть так?
Just
Паром.
breathe a little bit. They are reacting. They need the temperature, steam, and air movement,
Диффузия воздуха.
air diffusion. Yeah,
Да. Расшевелил осеннее
you
гнездо.
stirred the hornet's nest. They are reacting to a living organism. A living organism breathes, sweats, moves, and is warm. Come on, blow on it.
О,
Oh,
сразу же. Еще
immediately.
разок подуй, пожалуйста.
Please, blow again
Вот ты руками.
with your hands. Well, there's no need to blow this much. You see, they are stretching out at
Да, ну
once.
реально вот прям
Yeah, this air
диффузией
diffusion
воздуха прям
creates noticeable
заметная
activity.
активность.
Well, maybe there's some kind of smell, pheromones maybe, or dead skin cells falling off. That would require a different microscope.
Интересно, а волос,
wonder,
может быть, сейчас
what if we could add some hair
посмотреть
just to compare the size?
в сравнении, в размере.
Hair,
Вот он у меня
where is
волос.
it? Here, I have a hair.
Вот
Whose hair?
мой с головы.
From my head. Where is it?
Вот.
here.
Берем волос. Что мы с ним делаем?
Ну,
So, what do we do with
под
it? Well, we
микроскоп.
put it under the microscope to
Вот,
see its
смотри, вот
size.
волос.
Oh, here, the hair.
Они тоньше волоса
So they're
получаются.
thinner than a hair, it turns out.
Ого.
Wow.
А волос брось, да, мы смотрим на
Throw
его
it down. Yes, we're looking at it. It's changing.
И рукой помаши.
Come on,
Вот,
wave your
теперь
hand.
так же.
Ну,
Well,
он реагирует на
he's reacting to
теплый воздух.
warm air.
Он от меня чувствует
Maybe
запах.
some particles
Частицы отлетают.
flying off my skin. Something else like sweat.
Реагирует вот на это.
Кстати,
Maybe
вот
he's
волос
reacting to
прыгнул.
this.
Мой.
My hair
Ты
jumped.
вот
No, it didn't. Did you
задел,
touch
да?
it?
Здесь же все висит.
It's just that everything is on such an unreliable structure here.
Вот можно его просто вот
We could just leave it like that and watch.
Ну, этот какой-то
Well,
заторможенный.
this
Там
one
верхний
is
был
kind of
более
slow. The
активный.
top one was more active. Well, the most active ones are on expensive masks.
Хороший ракурс.
That's a good angle. It would be fun, but it's actually sad that people are dying. Maybe even because of this.
И может быть, в том числе из-за этого даже.
Я вот хотел помочь
I wanted to help
Лановому,
Lanovoy,
но не
but
взяли
they
твой
didn't take
препарат, потому
medicine
что не верят
because
же.
they don't believe in it. These days, no one believes anyone. It's a tendency. People don't trust anyone at all. Each other. That's the problem.
Да что уж говорить,
What can I say?
родители у меня
My
там
parents didn't allow me in
меня
for
не
3
пускали,
months
по-моему, 3 месяца.
during
Весной и
spring
летом,
and summer.
когда я... Говорит, ты дома не сидишь,
That's when you don't sit at
особо.
home naturally. So we're still looking
Да
for
все уже
someone.
понятно.
Yeah, everything is clear.
Что, давай тогда синюю маску
So
попробуем,
let us try the blue
разглядеть,
mask now.
которая была куплена,
The one I bought
не помню уже где, в
in the
метро или
subway
возле
or
метро.
somewhere near.
Так,
Ну, естественно,
So,
после
of
каждой-
course, after
после
each
каждого
experiment, after
эксперимента
эксперимента
each time, we are washing everything with boiling water, scalding it, changing everything as it should be.
вариантов,
So there's no chance that
Сейчас у
someone
нас маска
could
из
still be
аптеки.
there.
да, вот
Now
это
we
вот
have a mask from the
N95,
pharmacy.
она считается
Yes,
такая
at
блатная маска.
P95 it's considered to be a
FFP2,
fancy mask,
95 это значит, что
FFP2 mask,
95% очищает там
which means
всего,
it clears up
95%.
95% of
К
the
тому же она
stuff,
еще и с клапаном.
and it also has a valve.
Давай.
Вот
Let's
даже
go.
интересно, что
Кстати, две
I'm also
предыдущие я тоже
intrigued.
купил в аптеке.
By the way, I bought
ну,
the 2
а,
previous
вот
ones
да,
at the
это
pharmacy
аптечные.
too.
в магазине, в
Да, да,
переходе,
So not at some store or
да, в
underground
переходе я вам купил
walkway.
приблотненную.
Well, I've bought the fancy one at the walkway. You definitely need to look at it from this side. You need to steam it first. Come on, careful. It's dense. It will probably take longer.
Интересно будет в самом
It will be
клапане там
interesting to look
разглядеть.
into the valve. Well, the valve is for
На
the
выдох.
exhaling. Exhaling.
Клапан вот.
Here is the valve.
Такое все поролоновое.
Is it foam?
Ну, так
Foam
вот.
rubber?
Никто
Well,
же не будет на
Yeah,
вертолете
no one
Кстати, а
will
вот
make
уже смотри,
disposable
вот
ones
там
like this.
какие-то
Oh, here, look.
какие-то-
закупались не надо как-то.
я-
Don't touch the screen with your finger. I'm not touching it. Well, there is something.
Куда-то попрятался.
It's
смотри,
hiding somewhere.
уползает.
Look, it's crawling away.
Давай это как бы
Well,
Еще раз
let us take another
посмотрим.
look.
Он уже практически
Here, he
спрятался.
practically sneaked away.
он туда
Или
идет,
это вода?
он идет на
He is
тепло.
attracted by heat.
Сейчас поищем еще.
Now, let us look in other places.
Мы запомнили,
We'll keep this place in mind.
оно не единственное.
It's not the only one.
О, вот смотри,
Oh,
наш
Here,
швед тоже куда-то убежал.
look at the seam.
Блин.
It also ran away somewhere.
А, вот полез.
Here he is again.
Вот он.
Просто ракурс разный.
It's just a different angle.
Надо искать прям вот, чтобы
We should look for something more convincing.
Ну что-то там есть, да, вот какая-то.
But there is something.
Форма жизни. Это тебе не
A form of
кварцевая
life.
форма
It's
жизни.
not a quartz form of life, I mean. God
Кстати,
forbid.
давайте пока
By the
еще
way,
я
while
заговорил,
you're looking
кстати,
for it,
кварцевая форма жизни. Смотрите.
since I've mentioned it,
Дерево.
quartz
это
form
вот
of life. Here,
кора,
look,
дерево, только это
a tree,
камень,
but it's actually bark.
окаменелое.
It's stone,
Но оно, скорее всего, так
fossilized.
И вот
окаменелое у меня есть, могу показать.
Well,
мрамор.
I have a fossilized thingy I could show you. It's
Как мрамор.
marble.
А это
It's marble.
дерево.
And that's
Говорят,
wood.
что раньше,
They say that
деревья были,
the
горы
mountains
это
used to be
деревья.
trees actually.
ну это надо,
But-
видишь, как научный метод.
I mean,
Сомневаемся
we
во
have to
всем и
scientifically approach
ответ.
it. If we're doubting
Самостоятельно.
something, we should be looking for an answer.
Ну что,
Well,
не было? Ничего.
still nothing.
Ну прям такого явного
Well, nothing too obvious.
не видно.
Ищем.
Keep looking.
Ладно, ставлю на паузу.
Okay, I will pause the camera again.
Вот видно капельки пара, да?
Here we see drops of steam, right? Yeah.
А, вот.
Oh,
О.
Тихо.
careful.
Вшит между
It's
букв
sewn in between the letters,
цифр.
between the numbers.
Что, ждем его
So we are waiting for
пробуждения?
him to wake up.
Ну
Или-
да, можем дать ему
Yeah,
несколько
we
минут.
could give it a few minutes.
Слушай, похоже.
It
это-
seems like the thing.
Ну да, сейчас он уже
Yeah,
ожидает.
he should be coming to life soon.
Ну, хотелось бы верить,
Well,
что
I'd like to
богатые
believe that
не
the
зря
rich
переплачивают.
are not
Но,
overpaying
по
for
всей
nothing,
видимости, у них
but
просто
apparently they
праздник
have
тоже.
more expensive worms.
Сервис подороже.
More expensive worms.
Ой.
Oh, damn.
А, вот еще
Oh,
что-то
here's
такое.
something else.
О,
Так, делаю
I'm
паузу.
taking another pause.
Сниму сейчас.
I'll film the
content.
shocking
слушай, а
content.
по-моему, вот
Listen,
как раз
I think
мы
it's
искали.
exactly what we are looking for.
Просто он сейчас еще не
It's
проснулся.
just, it hasn't woken up yet. Still not awake?
Ждет.
Yeah, it's under
Помнишь,
suspended
где он там,
animation.
примерно?
Да, где
Do you remember where it was? Well, where those numbers are.
вот этот вот тоже.
This one too.
Давай клапан посмотрим.
Let us
Ложили
view
там
the valve.
дрейн
Можем сейчас
клапан?
перевернуть.
We could turn it
создать
over
условия,
and
чтобы
create
маска
the
где-то
conditions
висит,
as if the mask was on the face, because currently it's like it's inside out. We could keep this place in mind.
Держим чуть-чуть.
Let's hold it like this a little. We could also watch it from the top.
Йо,
Oh wow,
что такое?
what is it? Well, that's some kind of hair.
Слушай, ну такой волосок-то.
Well, it surely has a
конечно,
regular geometric
правильной
shape.
геометрической формы. А, вот,
Oh, here,
оживает.
it's coming to life.
Не вижу пока.
Well, I don't see it yet, but potentially it could be.
Причем тут так их много.
And I mean, there's so many of them. Well, this mask is more expensive. It's not like the cheap ones, not a 3 rubles mask. Yeah, we got tired of looking for them in the 3 rubles mask.
Отступили,
Oh,
да? И
We
вот
moved aside just a little, and there's a whole swarm of them.
Ну это какая-то или грязь, или это...
Is it dirt, or is it what we were looking for?
что мы ищем.
That's what we were looking for.
Вот, похоже, вот.
Here, the
начали
movement has
шевеление.
begun.
Не-не-не, вот надо прям
We should look for something more legit.
вот это
Oh,
вот
here.
зачетно уже.
Yeah, that looks legit.
Да, вот это засчитано.
We can count it in.
В общем, дорогая маска.
So that's an expensive mask to you.
Дорогая маска себя
The
оправдала.
expensive mask paid off. There are more worms in it.
С клапаном, да, 95%.
The one with the valve, right? 95%.
Ну, я думаю, что это
I'm not sure if they can be considered worms. It's some kind of parasite.
классифицировать.
In order to classify them correctly, I shouldn't name them yet. There are professionals, maybe, who have been studying them all their lives, and they will immediately say what it is. So you are taking them to laboratory today? Yeah. I'll be meeting not one person, but a group, several groups, to get a more objective picture. Oh wow, I mean, that was fast.
Искать долго не пришлось.
We didn't have to wait too long. Everything is designed for the rich. They get a better service and the worms come to life faster for them. I don't know what to say. This is the FFP2 N95 mask. Anything for your money.
Любой каприз.
Any worm for your money. Even the worms are more active in the expensive masks. Yes, of course, these are the jokes, but they aren't funny. We just want to show to the people so they see the same things as we do. Everything is objective here. We are not just saying it, we are just showing what it is in reality. I bought them personally. When were they purchased?
Вот, 2 часа
Well,
назад.
about 2 hours ago.
Да, ну, короче говоря, вот в течение там нескольких часов они были куплены.
Well, they were bought within a few hours.
В двух магазинах
In two
одни
stores.
маски были
One of
взяты
them
мной
was bought
где-то в час
by me
дня
at
в
1
магазине
o'clock
возле
in the
дома.
afternoon in a store
В
near
двух
my house.
магазинах возле дома.
I mean at 2 stores near my house.
А,
Well, it will
и
warm up now
другие
and
в
be more
4,
active.
и в
And
районе
the
5 в
other ones
Ивантеевке
I
я еще
bought
взял
at
одну.
4 and 5 o'clock at
В
Ivantevka.
аптеке заехал, в аптеку.
I drove
И в
to the
аптеку в Москве
pharmacy,
заехал
and
возле
I
метро.
drove to the pharmacy in Moscow near the metro. Well, I think that the pharmacies have nothing to do with it. They don't know what they are selling. I'm sure that the documents are in perfect order, and even the people who've sold it to them also will be surprised. But what can we do if the people's health is at
А у
stake?
тебя это вакцина
So,
или что
is
это?
it
Или
that
это
a
прям лекарство,
vaccine
когда
you're
надо
making, or is it some medicine
от этой
against
пандемии?
the pandemic? No, it's not a vaccine. This is a product for extended life. It still is. It was part of the gerontology program. It's for longevity, and when all of this craziness with the COVID began, it came in as a surprise. I mean, not much of a surprise, because I've expected it. We just didn't have any confirmation back then. This product removes COVID almost immediately. But the viruses mutate, so we had to make several versions, more enhanced versions. I mean, they are all within the same basic framework of composition, with some nuances. The product works quickly. It is registered as a drink for now, but I am working to bring it to the market as a medical substance. To make this happen, we would have to raise several $1 million. Well, it's not a problem for some big companies. It is already ready to sell.
Этот швельц.
Is this one moving? It's not clear yet. Not so
Давай
obvious.
клапан.
Let's look at the valve. What do we want to see in the valve?
В клапане.
Well, maybe there is something there.
Клапан-то он пластмасс.
The valve is plastic and they are more likely to be in the fiber.
Ты сейчас по краям клапана, не в самом
Those are
клапане.
the edges of the valve,
А в клапане
not the valve itself. Well, the valve is just a membrane and that's it. There's something black. Maybe that's what we are looking for.
Давай еще по кругу походим.
Let's go around in a circle.
Далеко убежал.
That's far.
по кругу клапана, что ли?
Да, да.
Around the valve, you mean? Yeah. Oh,
Это прям на пластмасске,
it's
да?
right on the plastic part, yeah?
Ну,
Oh,
Пока не шевелится.
oh, it is moving.
Шевелится.
обалдеть.
Damn.
Ну, это уже...
Well,
да, это
this
клапан,
one,
единственное,
definitely
прямо
the
вот
valve,
в
the inner side of the valve.
механизме вот,
Right here on the plastic, on the mechanism, well, the fixing parts. Let me tune it. Some people could lick the valve with their tongues out of boredom, out of 6 or 8 hours, I mean.
поток идет
Все что угодно.
Well, anything could be breathed in,
Как пылесос.
as if with a vacuum cleaner. It will go into your skin, into your nose. Do you think it could pass through your skin? Well, in theory, sure, it could penetrate your pores. Let me record it on my second phone.
вот он задвигался.
Yeah, here, he started moving. The mask with the valve, with this valve element. Oop, it ran away. No way.
Да ладно.
Yeah, he jumped and he flew away. Yeah, he changed its shape. He was just here on the top. Did you film it? Sure.
То есть он, подожди,
So,
он может прыгать?
I was saying he can jump. Yes, it can. It can make big jumps, like a couple of millimeters, a centimeter jump.
Ну, это
Wow.
Это вообще шок-контент.
So it's just shocking content.
получается, значит, он прыгнул на несколько своих
So he jumped
Да.
several of its
человек прыгнул
own
выше
sizes
себя, там,
high.
5 раз,
I mean,
3 раза.
it's like if a person jumped 3 or 5 times higher than their own height.
Причем это же
So
у нас на
they're
плоскости.
jumping, yeah, and it's on a flat
Это не
surface.
сверху вниз, а
It's
на
not like
плоскости.
it's jumping from
Ну, как
top to
колечко,
bottom.
вот, то есть он, видимо,
Well,
они прыгают.
they're curling into a circle and then they jump.
Да, подожди, так он причем, он прыгнул-то, получается, вверх.
So he
Там
jumped
не
up.
вверх, не-
He didn't
Я не
fly
знаю,
to the
он
side.
Отсюда.
Well,
отсюда
to me it
перепрыгнул
looks
сюда.
like he jumped from here to
Получается,
there.
он может прыгать.
So it turns out it can jump.
Может как-то разжаться.
At some point, it can sort of
И пополз-
unwind
поползти по тебе,
and
уже
then
и
crawl over
нос
you
залезть.
and get
Ну
into your
да, то
nose.
есть он как бы
Well,
готовится
yeah,
и
it's like it's preparing
и переходит
to
на-
jump.
Ой, я все вот за людей
I'm
волнуюсь,
still
которые
worried
в
about the
масках
people who
работают. Я
work
у них,
wearing these masks.
штрафами
Otherwise, they are fined. 5 grand.
карается неношение.
5 grand for not wearing.
Я надеюсь. Те, кто,
Well,
по крайней мере, их
They
заставляют.
don't know about
Да,
it,
смотри,
I hope.
сплетается прям.
Yeah, it's kind of curling.
Дальше за ним, да?
Можно его приблизить.
So let's keep watching.
А мы
we can
потеряем, как он
bring it
улетит, если
closer.
он опять прыгнет.
We could lose sight of it.
А этот самый
It's okay, it's a long focus microscope.
поэтому ничего. Не, ну то, что прыгают,
Well, this jumping thing is quite interesting.
Это же реально живое.
So it's really alive.
Волокно
It's
там
not a
нагрелось и
fiber
начинает
that
менять
heats
свою
up
эту
and
самую
begins to change its
форму.
shape.
геометрическую.
geometric shape. Yeah, it's definitely not a fiber, definitely not some kind of mechanical movement. It's surely the behavior of a living organism. Here he is. Maybe he's reacting to light because the light is directed at it. Looks like a paper clip or a sperm. Well, no. I mean, he kind of does. He's getting ready for the capture. An expensive mask. How much did it cost? 120 rubles. Well, they used to be 95, 99 or 120 rubles. Up to 1000. Well, I had a friend who sold these masks to hospital. 100 rubles, yeah. There were three types. 70% for 85, 99 or 95, I think. Not sure. They were in different colors. They had engraving on them in different colors. Sometimes they cost 200 or 300 rubles. Wholesale. Is it the same place on the valve? Yeah, that's the one. Or did you have several of them? That's the same one. Well, we found several of them. Let's look again and then go to the next mask. We already saw the main thing. Those organisms live in the expensive valve masks. So the rich crab too. They also breathe, yes. Well, this is a very serious topic. We're trying to hide our horror behind the irony, because this is actually shocking. It all started with some doubtful fakes, and it turned out to be true. Oh, here, very obvious, it's moving. Yeah, here, one more passenger. Damn. He's trying to untangle, preparing to jump maybe. Maybe, yeah. We haven't created another element which usually happens when a person breathes. They create excessive air pressure and vacuum. They breathe in, and we kind of missed it. Maybe if we recreated the process completely, they would be right here, flying into the nasopharynx. Yeah, it's like we're sucking them in with a vacuum cleaner. Well, yeah. He's looking for a place to crawl into. Looking for a carrier. Like, breathe me in, body. You will get me instead of a pie. Me inside of you and some kind of a sick leave. As for the virus, it's a separate topic. Is it connected somehow? One can only guess. So far, we have found them on all the masks. I gotta say that there's fewer of them on the Moscow mask. And here, there are more of them. No, they're just easier to see. We just took a first look and found them at once. No, they are more visible because there's contrast, and I think there's a lot of them in the Moscow ones too. Maybe it's about the package, they weren't sealed. It shouldn't matter. Well, let's go to the next one. Are we done with this one? Yes. Just put it into a separate bag and take it to laboratory later. So, we have another try, another mask, with some fish, with a whale. Is whale a fish? It's also Chinese, right? Have you already opened it? Not yet. So, it's a product, a hygienic mask, reusable, contains 100% cotton. Well, we won't mention the manufacturer. Is it Chinese? I won't be naming the manufacturer, but it's from Moscow. So, let's start checking. Yes. Here it is, with a fish. So let us change it. Will we see anything against such dark background? Oh wow, it looks woolen. So well stitched. Can we turn it the whale side up with the white background? Or we'll be looking into the scarf. We could look at both sides. There's such fibers, it's hard to tell anything. Well, it's fine work, right? Well, yeah, someone sews them. The eyelets are so carefully made. Outstanding craftsmanship. Well, yes. There are some hairs, maybe. I mean, most likely. No, it's just mechanical movement. Most likely. When it's alive, it moves differently. This mask, I suppose, is a candidate which isn't under suspicion. I mean, it would make no sense. Because it's washed. Yes, it can be washed. Unless they are inside of the fabric. Oh, here's something. Or is it just the stitching? Some fibers were coming out, but it's really just because of the steam. The movement is different. Well, we've just started searching. I won't be showing everything. I will pause the camera if we find anything. We'll be back. This is actually an example of mechanical movement under the influence of the steam. As if influenced by the wind, it reacts slightly to the movements, and it started moving mechanically. It is completely a different thing. It doesn't curl, it doesn't uncurl, yeah, it doesn't move, it doesn't fold up, it doesn't unfold. It simply reacts to the currents of air. It's like an element of wood. It's an inanimate object, simply mechanical movement. That's it, not alive. Wave your hand. They are reacting to air. They all began moving. It's a sign of just mechanical movement. When it moves backwards and forwards, or trying to find something, curling or uncurling, then it's alive. But here it's just mechanics. We could continue searching. Turn it the whale side up, with the white side up. Oh, here. The baby whale. Yeah, it looks like it. Let us heat it up. Interesting sight. I mean, the color and shape are kind of similar. Well, yes, we'll see if it moves. Then I'm lost. I really wanted to find something you could recommend. Well, something good, but we haven't found it. Because we aren't given any recommendations. neither positive or negative. We just want people to know the truth. That's our goal. It looks like the swarm has stirred. It seems to me like it's just dampness, you know? I really wanted to have a positive moment. Oh, here. Look at it. Wait, let's get the whole picture. Here, look. Could it be hair? Let's see. Well, what can you say? I don't even know. Should I increase it? Zoom in? The rest of them is still passive. In the beginning, we saw a frame with several of them from different sides. Let us warm it up a little more. Well, what can I say about this blue mask? We've been looking at it for 7 minutes already. Well, the background is monochrome. There's no contrast. It's not clear. Something is there, it seems. It's impossible to say with 100% accuracy. What about the white background? Well, it's hard to make out. They look like the hair too, right? This mask is harder to study than those ones. Well, it's cotton, so it can be washed. So there's no use in some chemical, thermochemical treatment, and the ordinary masks are synthetics. You iron them and they get stuck to the iron. It cannot be ironed, it immediately sticks. So that's what your wife did after the yesterday video. Well, yeah, she was impressed and she decided to iron it, and it immediately got stuck to the iron. Well, you could give it to her as a present. Thanks. It's better without any of those masks, without the pandemic. The current situation is so strange. Well, I have your medicine. I gave it to a person who got sick in my family, but he doesn't live with me. Nevertheless, he took a course of some hospital-type medicine. I mean, he wasn't taken to hospital, but he was treated at home. He was given some set of medical measures at home. After that, his sense of smell didn't come back. He couldn't smell. He also couldn't taste anything. But after drinking your medicine, after a few days, everything returned to normal. That's a notable thing. Okay then, we registered it as a drink for now, with some therapeutic properties. I mean, medicine, is like a legal word combination. I'm glad that it helped.
А есть
Very
у тебя
nice to
какие-то
hear.
истории,
Do you have any stories
как
about
оно
its
сработало?
effect, I mean? Well, lots of them. A variety of stories. Stories like in TV shows. I could tell you, but it could violate someone's privacy. But there's a lot of stories.
Ну, какой-нибудь
Well, tell
маленькую
me
историю
one short
расскажи.
story.
Через сколько вот,
Like, when
если
does the
болеет
person
человек,
get better if
он
they're sick?
Лучше становится практически
It
сразу.
gets better almost
Так
immediately,
полностью
and they are completely cured somewhere in 2 or 3 days.
бывает, что дольше,
Sometimes it takes longer.
ну, где-то
For
неделю,
some
по крайней
people,
мере,
it
все
could
живы.
take a week.
одного флакона хватает? Вот
Is one bottle enough?
сейчас как раз
Минимум.
покажу. Это вот как раз
Give me a
один.
second,
Нет,
I'll show
вот.
you the bottle.
Так выглядит. Это, ну, минимум,
That's
чтобы
what it looks like.
выставить.
Well, this is the minimum to somehow make things better.
Обычно их лучше
It's better to have several of them
несколько, чтобы было.
to make sure it kicked in.
Течение потом пропить. И так, в общем-то, можно,
But actually, you could drink it all of your life.
есть постоянно,
We have loyal clients who've been constantly ordering it for quite a while,
еще даже до того,
even
как
before it officially
официально.
was introduced and given a sale permission.
Вот я как начал употреблять, я заметил, что я
When I started
схуднул,
using it, I
как-то
noticed
вот,
that I've
минимум
lost
возраст
some
выдают
weight,
лет на 5, на
and
7.
people usually
Ну да.
say I look younger,
Вот это я
like
Там омолаживающий
5 or
эффект
7 years younger.
заметил.
Yes,
Просто
it
его
has
для
a
этого создавал.
rejuvenating effect.
Вот.
It was initially created for this.
Так сказать, не нужно,
The
чтобы
excessive
микроорганизмы
pathogens
не
stop
развиваются,
developing,
уходят.
they go out, including
Каждый
excess
человек
weight.
несколько килограмм,
Each person has several
так сказать,
kilograms
его
of excess
лишнего
weight.
веса. Это просто какие-то
This is
организмы
just some
живут,
organisms
эти
living in us, and without them, it's definitely better for everyone.
Все, понял.
Okay,
Ладно, Саша,
got it.
спасибо за сегодняшний
So, Sasha,
эксперимент.
thank you for today's experiment. Yeah, well, thank you for bringing the masks. I also was very interested. I wanted this. So, this mask made of fabric has nothing too obvious on it.
По крайней мере, ничего такого явного, чтобы вот именно прям точно мы...
Двигалось.
Ну, какой-то был,
Nothing
понятно,
that would
шевеление
move.
механическое. Ну,
Well, there was some kind of mechanical movement, but nothing 100% like on those masks. I didn't see anything. So we will assume that this is our winner.
ну, тряпочная
The
вроде
fabric ones don't seem to contain these things.
её, в
In
принципе,
extreme cases,
постирать там на
they could be
специальных
washed
порошках.
with washing powder
60-90
at
градусов.
60 or 90 degrees. Yes.
А, вот что-то
Oh, here,
началось.
something has begun.
Только.
Hell no.
Да ну нахуй,
What even is this?
слушай. Да что ж это такое?
Ой, смотри, со всех сторон зашевелились.
They began moving everywhere. Oh god.
А вот это чёрное, это
Well,
явно
this
не должно быть,
black
потому
one
что она же синяя.
definitely shouldn't be there because the mask is blue.
Просто она покрашена. вон,
It's
китёнок
just
белого
painted.
цвета.
Ну да.
A white whale. Well,
Ну,
yes.
я думаю, это надо тоже
I
на
think
анализ,
this also should be taken to laboratory.
Жене дарить ее рано.
пока
Too
подождать.
early to give it to a wife. Yes.
Ну, блин.
Вот и снизу вот зашевелилось.
They began
и это, и
moving
вот
down
здесь
there
вот.
and here and there.
Обалдеть.
Damn.
Начали тут
We
восхвалять.
just started praising it.
Понятно вообще, что
It's
это
not
волокна,
clear
почему
what
они здесь.
these fibers are and why they're
Вот здесь
here
вот
in this form.
распрямляется.
Look, it's straightening.
Так хотелось.
I wanted to end on a positive note.
Подуй.
Blow on it.
Движение все-таки оно такое,
This
как бы, не,
movement, you know,
ну, не знаю.
I'm not sure. Is it air rising from the mug?
Тут воздух еще поднимается из-под кружки.
Is the air rising? Well, yes. I could zoom it.
Так, Саша, что хотел добавить?
So, Sasha, what did you want to add? Well, in the end, what we found is a bit unclear. Some objects are still suspicious. So, our conclusion, I think, in general, sew your own masks using your own material, just to make sure,
Стирать.
or wash it at hot temperature with some powder, or don't wear them at all if possible, or make them from your own material, because in the end there's no certainty.
Но все равно эта маска
But
себя
still, this
показала
one
лучше
proved
всех,
to
да?
be
Всем.
the best one, right?
Ну, как бы просто она под вопросом.
Well, it is still in question, because it still doesn't fit the whole picture completely. So, if you want to wear masks, make them yourself. Rather than to buy them somewhere, I would do so if I wanted to be as sure as possible. Or don't wear them at all, I mean, if possible. If you are forced by the law, I mean, if it is lawful, then wear them, but not the synthetic ones. Naturally, we will continue our research. Maybe it will suddenly turn out to be something entirely different. I will be surprised then too. So we aren't saying our final word now. We'll say it after we've done our biological analysis and research. And right now we're too emotional. We're just showing what we're seeing. So draw your own conclusions.
Думайте сами,
Think for
решайте
yourself,
сами,
decide for yourself,
носить или
to
не
wear or not
носить.
to wear. We're just sharing our experience. It's still not clear. So, we have this kind of ellipsis at the end.
Все, тогда конец.
So, that's the end of
Первой
part
части.
1 then.
Что за хуйня, блин?
What the hell? Oh, that's a whole story, right?
Сука, блядь, ебучая.
Some little bastard. Well, maybe that's just a dirty mask. What are you saying?
Какая она была, блядь?
What kind of mask? Take another one, here. Take another one. This one.
Подожди, я проебал, где он?
Wait, I've lost him.
Вот он.
Here, here.
Вот он, смотри, он,
Here
блядь,
he
шевелится
is,
в
look.
натуре.
He's moving, for real. Moving. Well,
Вот он
take another
шевелится,
mask. Here he is. He's moving. Well, I see, but take another mask.
блядь. Вот он, смотри.
Here, look. Yeah, well, I saw it. Film
Там
it.
говно какое-то живет,
There's
блядь.
some shit living in it. Well, maybe I was wearing it. Damn.
Вот, смотри, смотри.
Here, look, look. I see it. It's moving. I should make a mask for myself.
Другая маска.
A different mask. Yeah, the tail is moving. Those are new masks. Is
Слушай,
it
я думал,
okay?
это просто какие-то ёбнутые,
I mean,
блядь, снимают.
I thought the people who filmed it
А это всё
were
на самом деле.
nuts, but it's actually true. That's why they say wear a mask. Can we sew some kind of
Вообще не
masks
надо их носить, блядь.
ourselves? No need to wear them at all.
Пошли они нахуй,
I will
блядь.
be fined. Fuck them.
Слушай,
It's a
говорю,
5
я
grand
такое
fine.
носить больше не буду никогда.
Well, listen, I will never wear that again. We could buy fabric. Ask my mother. She could sew.
Обалдеть.
Damn.
Короче, они как бы просыпаются от
The
тепла.
heat seems to wake them up and bring them to life.
Когда человек дышит,
The
вот и
warmth,
тепло.
like when a person is breathing, and they began breathing together.
Это.
Yeah. Screw this. I'm wearing these masks for
Alright.
12 hours. Congratulations. And you say, they're killing me.
Вот, смотри, вот она, видишь?
Here, look, here they are. Yeah, so it's moving its ass.